Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm Sami. There's so much that I want to talk about now that we are into the new year. Today is January 5th and it's Tuesday, 2021. And there's so much happening and so much going on. So firstly, tomorrow, the 6th, Mars will be moving into Taurus. So we're in the last degrees of Mars right now, being in Aries. And Mars in Aries is extra amped up. It's tough. It can be feeling rushed, feeling like we need to take action. If you remember that feeling over the last few months. Mars has been in Aries, I think, for about 6 months. So it went into Aries and then retrograded in Aries and then went back direct in Aries. So now we're moving into Taurus, and that is the detriment spot for Mars. So Mars is feeling really good right now because it's in Aries, but it's almost done. Okay, so when it enters Taurus, Taurus is much more slower moving and much more grounded, whereas Mars is fire and wants to get stuff done. It's very action oriented and will push you to do things, and can be aggressive, and is the planet of war and anger and violence and destruction in some cases. So now that it's moving into Taurus, the energy is going to be kind of off because Taurus is much more slower than Mars wants to be. So Mars does not feel powerful in Taurus. Taurus will make you think things through a little bit longer. It's more steady, very slow. Think about what you want before you make moves. Not to say don't make moves. We still need to be taking action. But Taurus just wants you to think things through carefully. It's good to make lists. Write down your plans and goals for the entire year. That will really help you, especially if you write down per quarter what you'd like to accomplish. This is the year of the hustler. This is the year where everyone needs to be hustling. Doesn't mean you're going to reap rewards or benefits of that hustle this year, but come 2022, that's when you would probably see a lot of those rewards. I'm not saying you won't see rewards. We're all on different paths, of course, and it depends on your birth chart. But as far as Jupiter brings blessings and expansion. And so Saturn will also reward you if you're doing what you set out to do. So for many of us, this year is going to be about putting into action your dreams. Putting into action all of the things that you've been wanting to do. So Saturn is going to see, do you finish what you start? All of the projects, all of the ideas that you've set in motion, are you going to finish them? And when you do, that's when you're rewarded. Saturn is like daddy. I say that a lot because Saturn represents time, father time, karma, and Saturn is rules and restriction. And Saturn wants you to think things through about timing and making sure you're doing things, you know, right. So Saturn can bring blessings with the expansion aspect of Jupiter. They're both in Aquarius now. And we're going to start feeling this Aquarian energy more as we move towards the end of this month, when we actually move into Aquarius season. Also, Uranus, which has been in Taurus for some time, has been in retrograde and will be coming direct January 14th. So Mars is moving into Taurus tomorrow, where Uranus is still retrograded. But come next week, by the 14th, it will come direct. So Mars and Uranus will be conjunct in Taurus on January 20th, which is a very special, prominent day for us in the US, right? And so Uranus is about expect the unexpected, a rebellious energy, innovation, different ways of doing things, and surprise. And Uranus will be conjunct with Mars, which is anger, action, that really pushing forward energy. So we may be surprised by what we see come January 20th. We may see more protests, things of that nature, more information coming out, things that have been hidden, because Uranus will be direct at that time. As far as this year predictions go, I am predicting food supply changes, the way we make food, expansion in different sustainability aspects, and the value that we place on food, and money, banking, money, banking systems, cryptocurrency, the way you make money, the way you see money, the way we handle money. Things will be changing, possibly going more towards digital currency. That's going to be continuing to happen, but possibly more so this year, and then maybe like 2 or 3 years to follow. But because we're in Aquarius, and so that's innovation and technology and different shifts, and because Uranus is still going to be in Taurus for the next few years, I think the next 5 years, and Taurus is about material things, money, food, comfort, quality, clothes, sex. So Uranus being there brings shifts in how we see things, and Uranus likes to do the unexpected. It likes to show you different perspectives and ask you, like, is this how you really want to feel? Are these the ways that you want to go about doing this? So hopefully we will see innovation in those aspects. Release. We're releasing right now. We're making room for the new towards the end of this month, and February, March, many of us will be meeting new people. This can be romantic, this can be friendships, but it's about collaborating, and going to be about forming communities and organizations about what's going to be best for humanity in the long run. You could be finding your soul tribe members, or just people that have been in your life that you may be forming closer bonds with that maybe you weren't expecting. So we're like forming alignments with people coming into union. More twin flames will be coming into union. This has been happening, but it's going to be continually happening more so. Even I think towards August is a big point for twin flames. I plan on making a video about twin flames because there have been shifts in the relationship dynamic that I have felt, and I don't want people to get confused about twin flames, because that's an issue for many people. They'll stay in toxic relationships and then call it twin flames, and it's not. Not everyone has a twin flame, so that's a whole nother subject. I'm going to do a video on that. I also plan on doing a video just on relationships, so look for those today or the next few days, because the relationship dynamics are changing. How you want to be loved is changing. Aquarian energy is much more detached, and depending on where Jupiter and Saturn are right now in your birth chart, for many people their relationships are shifting completely. I know Libra is one of them, as they have Jupiter and Saturn in the 5th house of romance. I'm a Pisces, Leo rising. I have Aquarian energy in my 7th house, which would be long-term relationships. So for me, I think it's like 6th house, 7th house cusp, but it's more like work. What do you do every day? And then how do you want long-term relationships to be? So you want to check out your birth chart. It's free. You can go online and just simply type in natal chart. All you need is your time and city. I say this a lot. If you have an issue with it, you can email me and I will try to get you your birth chart, okay? But wherever Aquarius is, especially here, we're still in the first few degrees of Aquarius where Jupiter and Saturn are. Jupiter has passed Saturn at this point. They were conjunct on December 21st, if you remember that big thing everyone was talking about. Oh, 800 years, it's been 800 years. And it was a huge thing, and we have felt a little bit of a shift, but we're going to feel it more as we actually move into Aquarius season. Right now we're still in Capricorn season. Happy birthday, Capricorns. So I want to challenge everyone in your relationships, and really in any aspect. You want to be going towards what you want, of course. You want to be setting goals this year as you would every New Year's. This year is different though. Like I mentioned, this is the year of the hustle. So regardless, don't do it to see rewards right now. You need to just do it because these are your goals and you'll feel accomplished. The rewards will come, but you may not see them right away. So if you're someone who's like needs rewards right away, or you give up, this isn't gonna be your year, okay? You have to keep on it. You have to be pushing hard this year, okay? And that's especially true for Capricorn, Pisces, just look at your birth chart, okay? See where Jupiter and Saturn would be. You look at the degree, the first few degrees of Aquarius, what house that falls under. And then you can simply Google, what does this house represent, if you don't know much about astrology. And that will tell you where in your life it will be affecting you. Okay, like I mentioned, email me if you have a problem or a question. I have been doing less videos because it's very time consuming and it's draining on my energy, and I don't make money this way, and I want to eventually try to make money this way so I can focus on this because this is my passion. So if you would like to donate, that's amazing. Otherwise, I plan on doing more as far as creating a Patreon, to where I'll be doing more readings there, more energy updates there. So if you would like to become a member, that will be happening soon. So I may not be on YouTube as much just because it is so time consuming, and I love to give the readings and help people and do all that, but the channel's just not growing as fast as I would like. So I have to find other means of making money and things like that to support Machirans. Thank you. So I want to just do a quick collective reading. I'm gonna come on back on and do Twin Flame, because Twin Flame are going through something, have been going through something, and I think just the Divine Feminine in general. So I plan on making a video and then doing all signs love reading for what to expect probably the whole month of January for all signs. So check that out, please. This is just going to be collective, kind of like an energy update. So yeah, be prepared for Mars energy to kind of slow down tomorrow when it hits Taurus. Frustration is very possible. Frustration in relationships is possible. And relationships are going to be going through a hard week this week. Okay? Do not be fooled by Neptune's illusion. Neptune is going to be here right in between the sun and the moon, and Mars and Uranus, or I think it's a Jupiter-Saturn square to Mars and Uranus, and right in between is Neptune. So there's still going to be a lot of illusion. So we have to be really careful, because there is going to be more aggression and more frustration, since the Mars energy is being forced to slow down through Taurus. And Taurus is very sensual and sexual, but they're very grounded. It's not super passionate. I mean, Mars is, and Mars is sexual. So expect changes, but Taurus is kind of lazy and slow. So you may not get as much attention from your partner as you would like. You may not have as much emotional connection or sexual interaction with your partner. Maybe not as passionate as it has been with Mars in Aries. Would have been really a lot of fire. So check out too where Mars is in your birth chart, and that will help you kind of figure out things as well. Okay, so we have Wheel of Fortune popped out sideways. Okay, this can seem like we're not seeing fortune right now. We're not seeing where this is going. This has been the case for a while, but many of us will be getting fortune. Okay, some may win the lottery. The Mega Million and the Powerball's up like 400 million, so be sure to play that tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, we have Chariot in reverse. And we have this Eight of Pentacles in the middle. So it's like, in order to see the fortune that we want, obviously we need to be working on ourselves. Mastering a trade, going back to school, pushing hard for whatever you want this year. The Chariot reverse is not feeling like we're in control. Not having control of where we're going. Not understanding the destiny aspects maybe of where we're headed. Because we can't see that yet. And we have been through a lot over the last year, and especially the last 3 months or so. So we will get more answers, obviously, as we move in to around January 20th. But with Uranus here, continue to expect the unexpected. And with Neptune, you have to be careful not to fall for the illusions. Okay, especially in love. I want to be clear about that, because you don't want to fall for something, right? You don't want to put all your energy and all your love and everything into one basket and hoping that it's something that it's really not. So look deeper at things, question things. And this goes both ways, because Venus was just square to Neptune. And so that was hard on the feminine. So if over the last week and a half you felt more insecure, that was normal. But because of this illusion here in Neptune, it's easy to see both ways. So just be cautious and careful, because it's easy to feel like there's illusion and deception when maybe there isn't. And maybe we're just being too hard on ourselves and insecure. But at the same time, in many cases, maybe half of the relationships in the world, I don't know, maybe there is something shady, maybe there is something deceptive. And it's just Neptune bringing up things in Pisces where it's about compassion, but it can also be illusion. So it's about loving yourself, figuring out your self-worth. What are you worth? What are you willing to accept from someone? And then just really trying to see through the illusion. It's possible that there is none, and the illusion is within you. And the illusion is within your own self-worth. And I'll talk about this more when I do the twin flames and the feminine reading, because I feel like that's very important at this time. So basically, I just have 3 cards up, but what this is saying is we are ending a cycle. We have ended a cycle. Okay, we are moving further into the age of Aquarius, and what this is going to take and require from us is this self-development. Work on you. I know it's cliche. I know everybody says it, especially about love. Like, oh, just love yourself and they'll come to you when the time is right. And it is true. And this year, it's going to be about income streams, following your passions, figuring out what's going to help humanity as a whole. What can you do following your own passion that's going to help others? And that's how you're going to develop the self, master a trade. You could be teaching others. This card can be mentoring, or it could be learning under someone as an apprentice. Finding new skills or mastering a trade that you already have. we're not understanding, we're not seeing the direction, or we're not taking the reins. You have to take action. And when Mars moves into Taurus, it might be kind of frustrating to do that, because it's going to feel like you want to take action, but there may be roadblocks. There may be things in the way. There may be more planning involved. There may be more work, more goals, more research that goes into it. So you are going to be forced to slow down. And this is good. This is just going to be for the first few months. I think in the beginning of March, Mars will move again into Gemini. So for the first few months of this year, it's going to be about more research, more planning, figuring things out. And so right now, it's okay if you can't see where you're going. It's okay if you don't feel like you're in complete control. Think long term. Think, where do I want to be by the end of this year? Where do I want to be by summer? And just start to move towards those goals. Saturn is going to want to see you take action, right? And Jupiter is going to bless and expand on that. And we're going to be expanding on technology and innovation. So utilize technology, try to do it in the right way, okay? Still be careful of this illusion. We're going to still be seeing the powers that be, or the dark, trying to consume or keep this fear here. Pluto is still in Capricorn, and the new moon will be on the 13th in Capricorn. So this is a new beginning going forward. And Pluto is about transformation, and it's been in Capricorn for the last year. So we've already been feeling the effects of Pluto as far as death, transformation, rebirth. And Pluto can also be about what's hidden. And so Pluto can bring things to light. So I'm hoping that this happens with the new moon. The new moon is more about darkness, but it is about new beginnings as well. So the new moon on the 13th will be a great time for manifesting what it is you want this year. So you have between now and the 13th to really start making lists, really start thinking and envisioning, and do this every day. Envision what it is you see for yourself by the end of the year. What do you see for yourself going into April time frame? And I believe Jupiter moves into Pisces in May 11th or late March, one of the M months. So Jupiter rules Pisces. Some people say Neptune. Neptune does rule Pisces as well, but Jupiter, before we knew about Neptune, Jupiter ruled Pisces. Okay, so Jupiter will still be doing good things when it moves into Pisces, and I'm excited about that. So we have a lot to look forward to. The energy may get a little bit easier around that time as well. But for now, it's like we're still coming out of that muck of 2020. We're still coming out of all that yuck feeling and not knowing and just listening to other people, right? So finding our truth, standing in our truth, and what feels good. Moving towards things that feel good, that you're really passionate about, that you're really willing to put in the work towards, because we need to be finishing what we're starting. Anyways, sorry for the background noise. We're still going to be in this weird phase. We're not completely in the age of Aquarius. We're moving towards that. So the energy will kind of feel like we're having to work towards things individually, regardless of the outside world. So even though you may want to be involved in what you see and protest for things, and that's fine, and be active in the community that way, it's going to be more about what you're doing, how you're making moves in your own personal life, people around you in your home, the people that you want close to you, deciding who you want in your life and who you no longer need, releasing those things, releasing bad habits, releasing toxic thought patterns and behavior, because we need to be on our hustle this year. So we can't really afford to have anyone standing in the way. Spirit, is there anything else? Death, Scorpio, transformation, okay? We're still transforming. We're still in this period of coming out of 2020. A lot of people thought like, oh, the Great Conjunction and everything's gonna feel fine and be great. We're moving slowly towards that, but it could take the next decade, really, to get there. We still have forces against us as far as light work goes and just the general public. So transformation is important, allowing things to die, allowing the release, okay? And it's all right if you don't know where you're headed. It's okay if you don't see exactly where you're going, or if you feel a little bit out of control. The direction where you're headed will come to you as you continue to work on yourself. So if you can't see 10 feet in front of you, work on the first 7 feet in front of you, right? Do what you can now. Still think about the goals that you want to move towards, but if you can't see how it's going to come together, or you don't know where you'll be in a year, just work on what you can. There is fortune available. There is a shift. There is an ending of a cycle, and good things and blessings available to those who are willing to put in the effort this year. Okay? And we will find direction as we do that. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else for the collective? Queen of Pentacles is the nurturer. She's the mother aspect. She's very grounded. She's Earth, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. But it's about finding abundance and finding your self-worth, finding what makes you happy within, having compassion and generosity for others. It's like helping yourself turn around, help your friends up a little bit too. You know, it's like as you move up the ladder, you still want to continue to have compassion for others. And we have to remember that. I feel like Spirit is saying we need to remember the compassion and staying grounded in this time, because we are going to be moving into a lot more air as we move into Aquarius. And sometimes it can be cold and detached. And although Aquarius cares about the big picture and humanity itself, it's harder when it comes to personal compassion for others. Aquarius can be just more about, well, what's best for everyone in the long run, and then they end up possibly neglecting personal relationships. So just be careful with that this year. As you continue to work on you and you hustle, you still got to keep in line, keep everybody good, make sure you're giving attention to those that need you on a daily. Okay, and try not to get wrapped up in Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? Queen of Pentacles is the nurturer. Like I said, she's the mother. So you may be still having to take care of others, still be there for others. A lot of you will end up being the shoulder that others come to cry on a little bit. You know, so if you're the support system for others, you may continue to be that for them this year. And that's up to you. That is up to your path and what you chose to do, what you choose on a daily, who you give your energy to. So you want to make sure that you're caring enough about yourself, your own goals, your own projects, and moving forward on those. And giving to others when you can. Okay, taking care of your responsibilities is a big deal. Plus we have all within the next few days, I think Venus moves into Capricorn, and I believe Mercury is moving as well. So we have a lot of shifts in energy coming over the next week, and that's why I say it may be harder for love, maybe harder on any relationship really, and you may feel like your goals are being kind of put off. For me, I haven't really had energy or motivation to do much, to move forward much, but I'm doing things mentally. You know, I'm using Mercury's mental strategies to brainstorm and think about where I want to be, and then prioritize and make lists about what's going to come first. What am I going to do first? Because right now, honestly, I don't have the energy to do it. And that's probably the case for a lot of us. But that will pick up as we move beyond Friday, and then move towards the end of the month. I think January 14th, after the new moon, we'll have more energy from Capricorn to want to put in more effort and work and be more motivated. So these just popped out. I'm just gonna say them. So Ace of Swords is new ideas. Okay, this is air. This is Aquarian energy. Follow new ideas. Be innovative. Be inventive this year. Follow the unusual path, because that's Aquarius. Aquarius is the rebel and eccentric and artistic and creative and likes new ways of expression. So forming new ideas, following up on those ideas is going to be a big deal. Ace of Swords can also mean truth. Truths can be coming out. We may be finding out things, hearing things. A lot of things have already been coming out. So you want to just keep tabs on them as they do. We don't want things to come out in stories to disappear like they sometimes do when the MSM doesn't report on everything. They report on a certain narrative. So we want to keep an eye out for the stories that don't get a lot of play. Okay? If they're not being reported everywhere, it's not because they're not true. It's because they don't want anyone to see it. Right? Four of Swords. Relaxing, resting, going within, meditating, healing. Many of us are healing this year, myself included. Healing from the past, and this goes into play with the releasing that we're doing. Releasing so much that we learned last year. We learned so much last year about who we can be as a people, the direction that we feel that we're moving in, as far as how we work, how we go to school, how money is made and used. And some of you may be shocked by information that comes out. Okay? And some of you are already expecting information to come out. And so if you're shocked, you're gonna have to heal something. You know, some things that come out may be traumatic. So focus on your goals, focus on where you're headed, and don't sweep things under the rug, because that's what people are trying to do. We have to make sure that it's illuminated, okay, and that everyone sees and understands what's been happening. Page of Swords can be studying, researching, and that's what this is going to take. This first 3-month period is about going back to school, researching, self-development, figuring out the plan. You may not be taking physical action on a plan, even though I want you to, and Spirit wants you to, and the planets want you to. If you can't, at least be learning, at least be researching, at least be studying up on things that you're wanting to do, figuring out the process of things. Because Taurus will kind of force you to slow down, but it's just to make sure you're going step by step, checking every box so you don't mess up. We have to utilize that this time that we have this year, because it's so huge for the hustle. It's like a building block. This whole year is going to be a building block for what's to come. Not that it isn't every year, you know, but some people get complacent. Some people get content, and then they're like, oh, well, I'm where I want to be. I only have a few things I want to do this year. This is about everybody building. Building on each other, collaborating, building individually to build a better world. Okay? And 7 of Pentacles reversed. This may be what I was talking about, where we're not seeing the rewards yet. Okay? If you're investing in yourself, if you're investing in others, this can be about the stock market, but this is more broad. This is a more spiritual perspective in this collective reading. Okay? So Spirit is saying, rest when you need to. Okay? Fight for truth. Fight for your own truth. Choose a side. We have to pick a side. You may be required to study, learn more, search more, okay? And searching within yourself, meditation. This goes into choosing a side. It's like, who do you want to be? And that takes meditation. That takes taking a step back, taking a break from things, taking a break from social media, taking a break from MSM. Because the investments that we've put in, perhaps we're not seeing those benefits yet. And we might not see them for a long time. And that's why I want to make sure you know that this year isn't about seeing rewards. It's not about seeing the final play. Okay, this is about what are you building towards? What are you putting away for years to come? What are you doing now? What's your strategy now? What's your hustle right now that's going to bring you rewards for years to come? This is about long term. And this is the year that we put in that work. Okay? Let's do one of these real quick. Spirit, is there an overall energy from the Oracle of 7 energies that you want for the collective for this reading? What does the collective need to know for 2021? Great and full. Great and full. It's number 4, by the way. Great. Great and full. This is a really pretty card. You can see. Key concepts. The mindful practice of gratitude. Knowing that you are enough, right? That's the self-worth that we were talking about. Committing to your intentions. Follow through is what Saturn wants from us this year. And a sense of sufficiency. Okay? Let go of attachment to form. So doing things the Uranian way, the Aquarian way. Doing things differently, exploring new pathways and perspectives of ways to get to the same place, okay? Because you may have to go around these roadblocks Saturn may present, and Taurus may cause a slowing down, a detour effect. So we need to be open to new ways of doing things, letting go of the traditional ways. And this will be easier as we move more into Aquarius season, as we kind of get out of this Capricornian, stricter, traditional ways of doing things. So let's read it. Before you can begin to understand the process of manifesting your desires, you need to practice deep gratitude and the willingness to share that with others. This is the true nature of prosperity. It's not about the things you accumulate at all. It's about how you feel. You're invited to surrender to an important truth. There is always enough for you. There is enough time to do the things you need and desire to do, enough opportunities to express your talents and connect to your purpose, and enough magic circulating through the invisible world into the visible. Begin your day immersed in gratitude for everything you have and everything you can't yet see. Chariot reverse. The unmanifest, which begins with every breath you take. Know that you are enough and all your needs are being fulfilled, even if you doubt this in some moments. No one's success can make you feel small, and comparing yourself to others never works. So we have to be careful with insecurity. We have to be careful of envy. Okay? That can be kind of Uranus and Taurus as well, and Mars moving into Taurus. Your life is brimming with unique potential. So focus on that. Focus on your individual potential, right? Then we're helping others in the community as well. Even just by doing those things. Even just by building on yourself and what you've become and mastering different skills. We help others, and we help others just through the collective consciousness and working on yourself. Self-development, especially spiritually, and awakening. That lifts the collective conscious, that lifts the vibration of all. The more self-work you do, the better everyone is. When you hold this feeling of gratitude, it acts as a magical open sesame to the floodgates of abundance. Couple that with a playful sense of detachment, and you'll find that miracles have an uncanny way of showing up in your life. Your intentions burst forth into reality with little effort on your part. There is hope brimming with potentiality. It's okay that you don't always trust this. You are not alone in holding the candle high for transformation. This is like the best card I could have pulled that just pulls everything together. Right now, contemplate how being in the energy of enough makes you feel. Eventually, you will have no attachment to what you do or do not manifest in the material world, what you do or do not have. Then, like magic, you have more than enough. What a fascinating universe we live in. That is true. And manifesting is such a huge part of it. And as time speeds up, as we move to the age of Aquarius, time is speeding up. And our manifestations are happening much quicker now. So with this focus on self-development and the focus on where you're headed as far as your long-term goals, your 6-month goals, your first quarter goals, your 2021 goals, and even the years to follow, those things will come in for you. And as that card said, and I've been learning the same lesson continually of detachment, letting go of the outcome. You can't control the outcome. And we can't control how it comes in either, because Uranus and Aquarius are the rebel. They do things in an unconventional way. So we don't know how it's going to come together. We can only work on the little things now, these baby steps now, these building blocks now, this whole year of the hustler. And you can do this through detachment. Doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as what I'm doing is building towards something I feel is making me happy in the moment as I'm learning more. I'm using follow through. I'm manifesting the best possible outcome, and I'm always in the right place at the right time. And as we do this together, we're building a new world. And it's going to take time, it's going to be gradual, but we're doing it together. And I love you so much. So grateful for this opportunity to be on the planet and to be with you, and I hope that this helps someone. If you have any questions, please comment below. You can always email me. My email is below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.